Now let's get into our next Game of the Week matchup, one that takes us to Ruby Field at Westminster High School, where the Owls host South Carroll in the latest chapter of their long-standing rivalry. Our pregame coverage begins at 6:45 and kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Let's talk about both of these teams. We begin with South Carroll. The Cavaliers clipped Chesapeake in Week 1 but suffered a lopsided loss against Linganore last Friday. Senior quarterback Caleb Evans is looking for his first passing TD of the season, but he's completing better than 65% of his passes so far. The teams have split the last 2 meetings in the series, but South Carroll trails all time 35-21. Now let's talk about Westminster. The Owls have been in both of their games despite losing to Franklin and Frederick, a pair of top-notch opponents. Like you saw earlier, junior QB Rory O'Connor has 354 passing yards and 5 touchdowns through 2 games, and Isaiah Sprinkle can take the top off of the defense with his speed. Westminster won last year's game against South Carroll 42-0 at Parker Field. Time for a look at the team's stats ahead of the matchup. South Carroll looking to get its offense going this week against an Owls defense that's allowing 26 points per game through the first 2 games. Players to watch now. We have got the quarterbacks in this matchup. Caleb Evans for the Cavaliers, Rory O'Connor for the Owls. O'Connor's accuracy isn't quite where Westminster wants it, but he has helped his team score 30 points with a handful of touchdown throws. All right, time for the Coach's Corner now. We catch up with both coaches as they get their team set for their Week 3 showdown. First up, it's South Carroll coach Mike Crumley, followed by Westminster coach Chris Basler. Coach, what do you think you've learned the most from me? What have these guys learned the most, I should say, through the first 2 weeks of the season?
I think we've learned how, we're a young team that's learning how important it is to be consistent.
The game against Linganore, I think that last season didn't tell the story of our team. And what we learned at the end of last season and coming in this year is that we have the athletes to compete with any team that we go up against.
We've played 2 high-quality opponents, and when you make mistakes again, then it hurts you.
We played Linganore tough for that first half. The score didn't necessarily indicate it, but we felt good about what we were doing. So we like our program, we like our philosophy, we like our execution. If we get all those 3 things together, then it should be a tough matchup.
They've gotten the last couple, but South Carroll has won some as well in recent games in the series. What has to go well this time for you guys to turn the tables?
Actually, I think they only have the last one. I think we have 2 of the ones prior to that.
You're keeping better track
Yeah,
than
I'm keeping a little bit better track.
All right.
I mean, I think there's always a little extra to the South Carroll game. I think they have played us extremely tough and beaten us several times in the last, over the last couple of years.
Right.
I know they're going to bring it, so we have to bring it, and it should be a great game with 2 good football teams going after it.
We do have to catch them on a year when maybe I'm not saying they're having any kind of rebuilding because they reload fast as anything, but we need to be able to be playing our best game when we face Westminster. And on years, whether it's for us when guys leave the program and we have to figure out what to do to pick up the pace, same thing goes for Westminster. We just need to execute properly and come out from the very jump. I don't want to say David versus Goliath, but being in the small school, being the big school, and these guys knowing each other growing up, there's just always, I know that they want to keep us down, keep us in our place, little brother in the place, and we want to come in and steal big brother's thunder. So it's a definite rivalry because we just enjoy any opportunity we get to give them a tough game.
Thanks to the coaches, Mike Crumley and Chris Basler, for spending a few moments with us, and a reminder, we'll see South Carroll facing Westminster this Friday, September 20th. Pre-game coverage is set for 6:45, and kickoff is at 7 for our CMSportsNet Game of the Week. A quick look at some of the other football games on the Week 3 schedule. Winters Mill hosts Francis Scott Key in a rematch of their 2023 game that went down to the final play. Man Valley takes on Liberty, and Century hosts Smithsburg. CMSportsNet also plans to bring you coverage from that Eagles-Falcons showdown. Kickoff from Big Mill is set for 7 p.m. We just mentioned that thrilling finish from a year ago. Winters Mill won that one 7-6. Want more local sports coverage? Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.